Hi. Episode 3, Hajime no Ippo. After looking up the translation for Hajime no Ippo, that means the first step, and that was the name or the title of round 1, the first episode. The first steps. Hajime, I believe, is beginning and Ippo is step. So the first step. I love that. And I'm also reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, rereading it. And I love that because one of the things he brings up is starting over, not being afraid to start over. Yeah, you might be at the peak number 1 over here. Guess what? Tomorrow we're going to start all over. First steps. You feel me? Tabula rasa, you know what I'm saying? Carpe diem. Clear the slate, you know what I'm saying? Go after it. Yeah, I love the title of the show. First steps. Very humble, very simple. I need to be the best. Gotta get them all. It's like, no, I just want to push. Let's just push to see who I am and what I'm capable of. So the episode all happens in KBG, this third episode. It's called Tears of Joy. And it all happens at the Kamigawa boxing gym. And Takamura, the boxing, I don't want to say prodigy, but he's known as the big guy in the gym. He's the one that's going after the world title. He's the main, how about that? Even though he ain't the main character, he's considered the main character in the boxing world. And so he's coaching up Ippo, who's sparring against Miyata. Now, the second episode, it ended with Miyata hitting him with that body blow. My man Ippo dropped his guard and Miyata said, bing! And my man Ippo, he didn't know what happened. He was like, yo, what's going on? That hurts so much. And Takamura's like, get up! So the third episode, the continuation of that is him getting up. He gets up, and really that's the whole point of the episode. He just keeps getting up. They spar for I forgot how many rounds, but if Ippo gets knocked down 3 times, it's considered a knockout, and the match is over. And Ippo knows nothing. Nothing. Like less than Jon Snow, nothing. Like, you know nothing, Jon Snow. Yeah, Ippo don't know nothing about no punches, no nothing. And so he's all heart, and you see that his courage, or his superpower, is his courage, because everybody in the gym is looking at him. And over the time of this sparring session, it goes from, he's getting his butt whooped, he's nothing, he's a nobody, why is he even in the ring, to every time he got back up, everybody was just every time he got back up and every time he refused to get knocked down, he was making everybody believers. He was making the coach a believer, Coach Kamigawa. He was looking like, man, this little puny little runt. And then you see Ippo get up and he was like, oh, this little got some heart. You got some heart. This little got some heart. Like a baby boy or something. He said, I'm gonna hit him with that one-hitter quitter. And Ippo was like, no. And there's a couple boxers on the side named Aoki and Kimura, and we'll get to know them more, and they'll be part of the group later, you know what I'm saying? But right now, they're not with the crew. And they talking a lot on the side, and they're trying to push me out of buttons. And it seems like they hating, which they low-key are. But I mean, considering the circumstances that Kimura and Aoki were supposed to be sparring that day, and Coach Kamigawa and Takamura said, no, we're going to focus on this dude. Because when I was watching it, I was like, man, they some haters. But now that I think about it, it's like, well, I can see why they be hating a little bit, you know what I'm saying? This new dude come, he don't do none of the fundamentals. He don't got to do none of the stuff y'all had to do that I'm sure you didn't want to do. You wanted to get in the ring as soon as possible. And he gets the fast track. It's interesting, taking a different perspective. So, sorry, I'll lay off Aoki and Kimura in terms of, calling them haters. But they was talking a lot of smack. And they was trying to get Miyata's head. Now, Miyata and Ippo are both sophomores in high school. So I think they're around like 16 years old. And the first time I watched this, I only saw Miyata as the more skilled, more trained prodigy boxer who has everything on lock. Mind, body. But then after watching this again, I was like, oh, wow, he's still young. And not that when you get older, you don't fall into these traps. But in the episode, he's over here listening to Aoki and Kimura, you know, and he's letting them get him psyched about fighting Ippo. And it's not on some like, let me focus on what I learned and beat Ippo. It's like, don't be embarrassed because Ippo's never fought before. So Ippo's over here trying to survive, trying to stand up, trying to do his best, just trying to keep going. And Miyata's sparring Ippo, thinking about his ego, thinking about his reputation, possibly feeling embarrassed. Now, he doesn't totally let that make him stray from his boxing, right? He's still got the fundamentals. He's still got the game plan. He's still using his mind to see what he can do. But it was just interesting how every time Aoki and Kimura talked to try to goad, is it goad or goat? To try to provoke. There you go. Just the Rolodex on the vocabulary, you feel me? Try to provoke Miyata by trying to make him seem like, dude, this guy's a wimp. Don't worry about it, bro. You don't even have to knock him out. Don't worry about struggling. Or something. But basically trying to get into his head. So it was interesting to see that the difference between Miyata has the skill, the training, everything. Ippo just has the will to keep going. And how far that can take you. So each round, Takamura is giving Ippo something else to take into the ring with him. So the first time he just told him to keep the turtle shell guard up, right? And just last for the first round. And he told him that in episode 2. So at the beginning of episode 3, when we see Ippo on the ground, he gets back up. So that's his first knockdown, but he gets back up. Then they finished the round, and Takamura's like, wow, was it the fact that you was getting your butt whooped all those years by those bullies when I saw you? Is that why you could take a butt whooping in the ring and stand back up? And Ippo was like, I don't know. Sorry, I'm adding all this extra eyebrow stuff. He wasn't doing all that. I would just go for acting, and clearly I can't act still. And still over, was it, whatever, let me not go on a tangent. So Ippo's going back into the ring with the second round. He has a stance. Takamura was reminding him of catching those leaves, throwing those jabs, right? They weren't just leaves he was catching. It shows you he was learning how to throw quick jabs, solid jabs. So Takamura starts reminding him, remember those leaves, you know what I'm saying? Remember when we punched the heavy bag and then we were punching Omazawa, your bully? I told you to plant, rotate your hip, turn your shoulder in. So he's reminding them all the things that seemed like just steps to get into the boxing ring. But it's like, no, they're for a reason. They're preparing you for battle. And so he goes into the ring. He's using these things. And long story short, he ends up losing the match by getting knocked down. And as Ippo loses the match by getting knocked down. And as he's getting knocked down, he's saying, I won't quit. And then falls out. So even his mind and his will was still trying to fight. It was just his body who said, hey, it's the first time we did something like this. It's a wrap. But that's what it was about. Fighting, not quitting, not worried about being embarrassed, not worried about being overwhelmed. Because it wasn't like Ippo was just going there blank mind and was just blank face. He went on a blank face. He was thinking. He was like, man, do I have a chance? Miyata's been boxing for how long? This guy seems amazing. He cracked me in my stomach and then knocked me in my head. And then the second round, I believe, Miyata hit Ippo with like, he took his legs out by hitting him and getting him with a chin uppercut. But he knocked him on his chin and made his legs do the Bambi. Made his legs do the Pinocchio, I want to be a real boy. You feel me? So Ippo takes that, gets back up. Overwhelmed, knows the odds are against him, knows there's a lot he doesn't know, eyes everywhere in the gym, watching him, not even just watching, but criticizing, judging. As far as he knows, he's technically, Takamura's invited him in, but this is like his test to see if he can really stay, if they'll really let him stay. And I know it's just to think, if I put myself in that position, I feel so much pressure. Not that Ippo wasn't, but there have been times where I've let the noise distract me from the goal. There you go. And Ippo was not letting any of that noise distract him from his goal of continuing to keep going forward. I want to be a different person. I'm going to be a boxer. I've made this commitment. Just keep going. Just meet the Robinsons. Just keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Finding Nemo, just keep swimming. You know what I'm saying? One step at a time. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Just keep going. Just find a way. Find a way. Make it smaller. Like Martha Kent said, you know what I'm saying? Clark, the world's too big. You have to make it smaller. And that's real. That's like a real, I feel like that's a real lesson to learn, especially today for us humans. Yeah, we're not Clark where we can hear all this stuff, but technically with the phones and all this stuff, we can hear a lot of stuff. We got to make our world smaller, focus in, less distractions, less chaos, and more direction, more balance, more focus, more deliberation and more deliberateness. So I love it. In a situation where probably most of us would have been like, man, bump this, man. Don't nobody want to do this. You want to embarrass me in the gym. It's my first day. Y'all some haters. The coach want me to go against this dude that been boxing, so clearly he don't want me here. Ippo didn't care about none of that. Nobody else's feelings or thoughts Ippo takes into consideration when he's trying to be a boxer and change his life. When he's trying to be a boxer and change his life, that's what he's trying to do. So he goes through the boxing match. Like I said, he gets knocked down for the third time and loses. And technically, and it's facts, Ippo didn't land a clean punch on Miyata. And so Ippo was feeling down, like, sorry guys, I didn't mean to do such an awful job. I didn't land one punch. And everybody's like, what? Land one punch? Man, don't nobody care about none of that, boy. You cold. You might not be hella skilled yet, but bro, you got heart. You had everybody in here turning their head, and for a sparring match, you went ham. Now, from all the Joe Rogan episodes I done watched and all the Fighting Companions and behind the scenes boxing and UFC, I understand the actual fighting, going that hard for a sparring isn't the smartest. It's not the best for a boxer's career. And also I'm realizing a lot of these episodes of Ippo going in and being a hard hitter, but then he's getting his block knocked and rocked in the cartoons. And I believe he retires in the manga. But in the cartoons, you know, I get it. It doesn't reflect the reality of boxing, or it doesn't show all the consequences, the negative consequences of getting punched in the head so many times. Now, this is Ippo's first boxing match, but I'm not gonna sit here and try to belittle the damage one head-rattling, brain-shaking can do. Now, one of the things I do like is despite, well, I guess each person has their amount of time before you actually start showing symptoms of it. And I doubt you show it this early in your career, so Ippo got time. But they do talk about the brain shaking in the head. When you get punched with certain punches, it takes your legs out. So I like how, even though it's a show that seems like it's more geared towards the youth, maybe, and positive, they don't shy away from the damage that boxing does, right? They even have, and this is in the future, they have an episode where Takamura just won a title match. Everything's good, yeah! Him and Ippo are walking to Takamura's place. Ippo's getting ready to, they're going to split ways and Ippo's going to go home. And Takamura's walking up the steps to his place and he has to stop. He stumbles. And Ippo's like, you all right, dog? And Takamura's like, yeah, I'm just a little punch drunk. He's like, basically it happens. Get some rest, Ippo. You need to get rest too. But it's like, yo, you're a boxer. You win the title. He wasn't out. Well, they did go party, to be fair. I think they did go party. But he wasn't with a whole bunch of random people. It was with their boxing gym group, right? But to think, man, you home. It's dark. You by yourself. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, you're the champ. You won. You put in all this sacrifice. And you sitting there thinking of all the work, winning the championship, and you're woozy. That's tough. But one of the things they show about boxing, or I guess just in terms of metaphor, right? Your life goals is not everything is going to be nice or perfect or only give positive stuff to you. We make choices, and those choices have good sides and not so good sides, or good sides that work and sides that don't work. And yeah, I like that way. I like the fact that they don't shy away from the sadness or the darkness or the dangerousness of it. You know, it's like, yeah, man, it's boxing. A lot of them have to have a second job, not to mention you're getting your brain beat in. So, you know, you only have so much. It's over time, there isn't just this. When you're getting hit in the head so many times over, you start to do this. And they don't totally focus on it to make you Death Note sad. But I like that they mention it, though. They're not pretending like it's not there. And so at the end of the match, Ippo's lost. Miyata goes back to the gym. And everybody kind of having, I mean, that spar kind of got the gym hyped up. Everybody walks away like, oh, wow. Ippo, of course, like I said, he feels like he lost the match. He doesn't see that his superpower is the will to get up, and that's a good, that was positive. He's still learning that. But the rest of the gym is impressed by his will, and then impressed by how much he was able to put together in a small time, because he went from the first round to getting his stuff rocked, and then he was swinging like this. He was swinging like he just found him off the street. Takamura found him off the street. But with each round, got his guard up. Next round, hitting him with them jabs and hitting him with them. So he was building up in a small time, which I'm sure was pretty impressive for a lot of them. Miyata, he won, but even going back to the gym, he was like, or even going to the shower, he was like, yo, this kid is strong. I wasn't picking on no little, I know y'all thought I was bullying this little dude that never boxed before, but I don't care what y'all say. He boxed before. Because I haven't blocked all them punches, and his arms bruised up. And then even after that, Miyata was like, but I gotta be honest, after all these years, I still love it. Positive, the coach was hype. Takamura went into the coach's office and was like, see, didn't I tell you, coach? Didn't I tell you I brought somebody in who had the heart? And Kamagawa was like, that, well, he didn't say it like this, but he was like, that little Nicole. Bring him in every day to box. I'm gonna make a real fighter out of that kid. So he got the coach hyped up. The coach was like, man, forget all them skills. I have a Rocky freaking. So everybody's opinions and energy changed over time, and that's what when you do. Sometimes all you have to do, you don't even have to win. Sometimes you just have to stay in the fight, and you'll literally change the world around you. The people's minds will change. Haters will become believers. And that's what happened. So they're all around Ippo at the end in the ring. They throw some water on his face to wake him up because Miyata hit him with that bing bing. So he was getting that Gary. Getting that Gary sleep. But they're all standing around him. And they mentioned something, but basically to say that he's accepted. And Ippo's like, you get the crying face, like, I'm accepted. I've been accepted here today. And it really touched him. I guess he hadn't really been accepted in any other group. Friend group, hobby group, anything. So that's what made him break down and just shatter. He was accepted. Truly accepted. He wasn't the best. He wasn't cool. He didn't have skills. He didn't come in and everybody was like, oh, look how cool. He's probably a good boxer. No. Everybody thought he was a chump. They thought when Takamura brought him in, he was lost. But he didn't care about none of that. He did what he had to do. He stayed in it. Didn't look to his left or his right. So they say you're accepted. My man's a part of the gym. He's going to be coming back every day. So he's passed the test. He's officially, was it Tears of Joy? The name of the episode, Tears of Joy. He's officially in the group. And I like that they make it a point of someone being accepted. You know, not just, I'm out here just trying to be a boxer. I'm out here just trying to win, get these goals. It's like, Ippo slows down. You know, he's about, I guess he's ambitious in a sense, but not trying to push people to the side or say F you or kick him out the way. He really takes it to heart when people accept who he is. But he's been bullied for a long time and didn't have friends, so I understand that. I can see why he feel that way. So that's how the episode ends. Now he will be coming to the gym every day to become a boxer. Kamigawa is on board, ready to take my man through the training. Takamura is going to be there. We met Aoki and Kimura. They introduced themselves to Ippo after he woke up from being knocked down. And, you know, they was doing their little talk hating on the side, but he turned them into believers. And, yeah, it was a good day at the gym that day. A lot of heart. And Kamigawa was just so impressed. He was like, bro, there's only a small number of people I've seen that would put it all on the line for a sparring match. Nothing. Not being recorded. It's not part of a record. Just, and Ippo went out like it was the championship. So yeah, see any other notes I got for the episode? I think that's about it. Like I said, his superpower is his courage. I love that. His superpower is just, I'm gonna keep going. And that's what I got from this episode in terms of life lessons. Just keep going. Just one step at a time. It's not showing up being the best. It's not showing up being the flashiest or the most skilled, or I want people to look at me and think this. It's like, no. Just focus on keep going. Whatever you're doing, to do your best and to keep doing your best every day, that's hard enough. No matter what it is, just being a human, doing your best at that thing is hard enough. So it's like a marathon. Don't be concerned about where you're, I guess, ranked or placed among other people. Who cares? What's your goal? Focus on that. Keep moving forward. Don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Break it down if you got to. If you just got to, one of the things I think about is I've ran a couple marathons. And so when I get to that point, I think about myself being in the marathon. And one thing I keep telling myself is just one step. I just got to take one step. That's why I like the title of the show, The First Step, Hajime no Ippo. Because that's what it is. One step will just keep, one step. Keep going. Just keep going. That's it. Keep going. You don't got to sprint the steps. You don't got to be strong in the steps. You don't have to show you got muscles or that you in shape in the steps. You don't even have to look good. Just take a step and then take another one and then take another one. Just focus on that step. So yeah, that's what that's what I take from it. That's what's going to help me, because I want to be there now. I want to be first place best now. I want everybody looking at me saying that boy cold now. But that's not how you get there. That's not how you have a strong mind to get there. Because when things get hard and you start looking whack and embarrassed, I don't want to have that on my mind. All I want to have on my mind is just take that one step, dog. Just take that one step. Forget all these eyes. Forget all these thoughts. Just take one more step. So yeah, take that what you will. Take that for anything in your life. One more step. Keep going. One more step. You want to quit? Just one more step. What happens? Take one more step. And then another. And then another. It's a little bit insanity, but you got to be insane to make it. You feel me? Sometimes you got to be insane to say, so this sucks and I want to quit, but I actually want to accomplish this goal, so I'm going to keep going. So episode 4, round 4, coming soon. Watch the show again. It's on Netflix or it's on YouTube. Hajime no Ippo, The First Steps. Watch it. Or don't. But as a recommendation, check it out if you want some stuff that's going to really talk to you. It's going to speak to you, not just entertain. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Round 4. Peace. Coming soon. Or I guess I shouldn't say coming soon. I'll take the pressure off myself and just say it's going good one day.